So, a review. A little break from the humor, and I'm gonna give you my thoughts on this Wilfa BL1200b blender. Before buying this, I had gone through a couple of blenders, taking them back to warranty, and the store had given me the option of paying the difference to get something a little better. I needed something that could crush bone, primarily to liquefy bone for our little fuzzy friends here. Yeah, it did the job. 1200 watts, very powerful. It does have a tendency for food and things to stick to the side if they're not liquid enough, but overall, it was a good blender. My only real issue with this blender, and it's an issue that would kind of prevent me from buying it again, is the knife blade screw-on cap. And this actually seems to be an incredibly common issue. It cracks, it breaks. When this happened to me, it was right after the 2-year warranty was over, kind of out of luck. But I contacted Wilfa anyway, just asked, hey, this happened, anything I can do? Is the part available? Unfortunately, they came back and said, no, if you want that part, you have to buy the whole picture at about 50 or 60 euros. I can't remember the exact price, plus the cost of shipping. And I thought, well, that's a bit ridiculous. So I tried to fix it with tape, glue, all that junk. None of it worked. I searched online and, like I said, common problem. And what I found was this 3D model. Somebody had designed a cap to fit the blender. Now, in Finland, there are a lot of public maker labs, which is really cool. I had never used a 3D printer before this. If I use this 3D printer, I don't have to buy a new blender. I don't have to buy new parts, save a bunch of money, get to have the experience of playing with a 3D printer. Cool. So that's exactly what I did. And I was absolutely amazed because the place I went to, they didn't even charge me for the filament or parts. It was absolutely free. The printout took about 7-8 hours. I was kind of surprised. For some reason, I thought these things were a little faster. But what I ended up was with this cool part, and it fit perfectly. And I have my blender back up and running, perfect. Everything's good. And I actually wrote to Wilfa to tell him and say, hey, I ended up 3D printing the part, and I kind of feel like, and that I didn't feel like I would be buying another Wilfa product, or at least not another blender, because I kind of do expect these things to last a little bit more than 2 years, especially when you do put in the extra money. It's not a 15, 20 euro blender. It's 100 euros. It's not an industrial blender. It's not a chef's blender. It's a consumer grade blender, but I would have hoped that it would have lasted longer. At least I would have hoped that the part that broke wasn't a little plastic cap. Considering that any blender that I buy in the store, even the 15 euro, 20 euro blender, is guaranteed to last me 2 years because of EU consumer law, I can break a 15 euro blender 10 times within a 2-year warranty, and I don't pay a cent. So given that, I really do hope it would have lasted longer. Like I said, it's not a bad blender. I do hope that they've resolved this issue. Wilfa, after I told them about 3D printing the part, they actually got back in contact with me and did say that they do have the part separately available now. I believe it was something like 25 euros plus the cost of shipping, I believe, which I guess is better, but considering I can download the object and print it, I'd much rather do that. Of course, maybe they'll see this video, find the people who made the 3D object and send them a cease and desist letter, which I really hope that they don't, because that would be unfortunate. Though that said, it's a very simple part, and I think with a little bit of work, just about anybody could recreate it. So yeah, 3D printers aren't just little gimmicks, they actually are pretty useful. And maybe later I'll do a more in-depth review, but honestly, it's a blender. Do hope you enjoyed the video. I do mix up the content every once in a while on this channel, so stay tuned, keep on watching, and as always, no matter where you are in this world, good day, good night, good morning, bye bye.